and shift focus to Karnataka. Even as the talk of leadership change, the murmurs, the one after another trips to Delhi from Bengaluru for the Congress party and the leadership continues, Karnataka is yet to completely, the leadership change tamasha, the political conundrum is completely yet to die down, because Congress member of Legislative Council and Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's son, Yathindra Siddaramaiah, has given his father a huge endorsement. Of course, coming from a son, it will be big, saying his contributions should be more even than the erstwhile rulers of Mysuru, who is credited with ushering in progressive reforms during the pre-independence era. Speaking to reporters on Saturday, Yatindra Siddaramaiah said development works in Mysuru region taken up by the Congress government during the tenure of his father equal or are probably even more than the Nalvadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar in an exclusive conversation with Deepak Bopanna, BJP MP from Mysuru, and the titular king of Mysuru, Yudhvir Wadiyar, has responded, and he has slammed the statement, has said it is completely far-fetched to draw any comparison between the Wadiyar king and Siddaramaiah.
So, Mysuru ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅವರು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಅನುದಾನಗಳು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇನ್ಯಾವ ಅನುದಾನಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಾಲ್ವಡಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣರಾಜ ಮಹಾರಾಜರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೈಸೂರಿಗೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಅಥವಾ ಅದರಷ್ಟೇ ಅನುದಾನನ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅವರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸಾಧನಾ ಸಮಾವೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೂ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಬರೀ ವಿಪಕ್ಷಗಳು ಟೊಳ್ಳು ಟೀಕೆ.
You really look at this statement coming at a time where there have been, on and off talks of political revolutions and so on. Do you feel this is some sort of assertion about his political position in the state? Also officially, as far as the BJP is concerned, many of the leaders have been saying that there has been no contribution, from the Congress majorly towards Mysuru region, but unnecessarily holding a sadhana samavesha in Mysuru again was just to consolidate his political position. How do you view it?
Well, I mean, every politician is going to do politics, and every person who is in power is going to do acts to consolidate his power, and there's nothing wrong in it. But I personally feel that the Sadhana Samavesha, and then also in the background of this recent claim of comparing himself to the erstwhile rulers of Mysore state, it is completely, I think, far-fetched to think that it's anyway comparable. For one, the complete sort of economic meltdown that the state is facing in terms of inflation all across the board, price rise all across the board. There is a complete lack of development every which way, and in fact even the Sadhana Samavesha was just a repackaging of all the schemes they had already launched before, and of course a number of central schemes and central developmental projects which they repackaged and showed as if they are doing it for the state, or for Mysore for that matter in this particular context. This is time and again being done by the Congress, and we've highlighted this time and again. Even the previous budget of this 2025 year, it had for Mysore pretty much repackaged everything that had been given by the previous government, including the 300 crores which they claimed to give for this airport expansion was already given by the previous Bommai government. So it is just a matter that they have been repackaging and doing it, and the people of the state are well aware, because they can see right in front of them the failing in terms of having a good economic outlook and having a good economic planning. Okay. I have my constituency itself. If you within Mysore city, if you go out into the rural parts of Mysore, in Hunsur, Piriyapatna, or any other place within the district, even though it doesn't come to my constituency, we've been touring, and certainly and most apparently in Kodagu, there are absolutely no roadworks happening. Okay. And there is no maintenance of the same roads. And now with the recent rains that have come in, it is made even more apparent that, we are facing a complete lack of any developmental works happening towards even maintaining a decorum or some sort of facade of there being some responsible governance.
Anand Gurumurthy, spokesperson of the BJP, is joining me at this moment. Asad Abbas, political analyst, who leans towards the Congress party, is also with us at this moment. We have B.S. Arun, senior journalist from Bengaluru. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for speaking to us. Let me start by asking you, Mr. Abbas, a son giving a certificate of great work to his father, not unexpected, but why create this controversy, historical figures into this? I mean, the chief minister may or may not have done great, but by doing this, it smacks of sheer arrogance is what the charge is.
I believe what smacks of sheer arrogance is a person or a politician calling himself non-biological and the rest of the politicians as mere mortals. I think what is arrogance is Prime Minister being addressed as living God. Now here, not just a son, MLA Yatindra from Mysore, has addressed the fact of the matter. My friend from the BJP who's on the panel, I challenge him today on your show, sir. Show me one BJP chief minister who has had a funding of over 2,500 crore in the history of Karnataka. Not Yadiyurappa, not Basavaraj Bommai, and not D.V. Sadanand Gowda. As a matter of fact, not even Kumaraswamy or Deve Gowda. Siddaramaiah has always worked for the people of Mysuru, and he's been able to bring in this revolution. If you see the schemes,
hold on. Because every time a question is asked, it is taken somewhere else. But like you were saying that, something else smacks of arrogance, and you do not like that, I'm sure, because that is exactly how you began your statement. So then, in the same breath, is this comparison all right? This is not arrogance. Or is the arrogance when, if somebody, makes that comparison somewhere else, that will smack of arrogance and not within the Congress party?
How's this arrogance? It's a fact. It's a statistical figure. 2,500 plus crore.
Let's talk about statistics. Are you telling me from 1902 to 1940, under the reign of the Wadiyar king, the kind of work that was done in Mysuru, that can be compared to what is happening right now, statistically speaking?
Absolutely. Why not? The number speaks for itself.
Tell me the new railways that Mr. Siddaramaiah started because the king was able to do that.
Siddaramaiah, it's a lot more easier for a king to do than a Siddaramaiah. Siddaramaiah being a politician, being answerable to his party, being answerable to the government, being answerable to the funds. It is not as easy for a king to do it. So the
comparison dies down there, isn't it? You are saying it's easy for Siddaramaiah to do it, for the king to do it, not Mr. Siddaramaiah. So then there is no comparison. Why bring in them?
Absolutely. The fact of the matter, I made this statement with full responsibility and accountability, Ankit Sahab, because a Raja, a king, Nalvadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar, is not answerable to anybody, whereas a Siddaramaiah is answerable to his cabinet.
Precisely where the comparison dies. I don't know what you're trying to spin, sir. So why get into the comparison with somebody that you can't compare, and then you have to come and defend that a Raja can do whatever, but Siddaramaiah cannot. My only limited submission is whether the chief minister is doing great work or not. The fact is, why get into these kind of hyperbole to present your father or to put your father on a pedestal. Hold on, it's just not a debate between you and I. Let me get in my other guest as well.
I need to answer
Mr. Anand, I'm coming to you, sir. I've made a statement. I've not asked a question. When I ask a question, I'll come to you.
Even if you
Mr. Anand Gurumurthy, what is wrong if some figure or some historical figure is being used to, in fact, insinuate that the government is doing great work? What's wrong with that?
Okay, see, it's not about that, but let me just tell you that Mysore Maharajas always stood for long-term ideas, whether it be, the Tata Institute, which is now called as Indian Institute of Science, or being land given to them, or the HAL land, or the Bhadravati Steel Plant, or, numerous institutions. In fact, they have hundreds of institutions they have started, and they had long-term ideas. Education. In fact, they prioritized women education. They bought electricity. Bangalore was the first city in India to have electricity. And then, they were so futuristic that even before freedom, Mysore was the only state where there was even reservation applied, so that, equality comes up in the state. But when you compare it very well, okay, I will tell you the same time period, one more rich state, the Godavari Plains, the Nizams were ruling. The Nizams of Hyderabad was ruling. If you see there was oppression, people were killed in the
Sir,
name
I don't know where you're taking it. Everything can't be about
just give me a moment.
Hindu
Just give me a
Muslim. Let's
moment,
not
okay?
get there.
So,
What I want to
the
ask
state-
you,
the entire
what I
state-
want to
Mr.
ask
Ankit,
you
wait.
is, what I want to ask you is, this is a notional, a conversation or at least a statement being made that yes, there was great development under Mr. Wadiyar or the King Wadiyar, but the Chief Minister has done even greater. What is the problem if somebody wants to, you are getting into a notional, all I'm trying to say is that Mr. Yatindra was only trying to say that his father has done great work for Mysuru.
See, this is not the thing, okay? There has to be some respect for the historical figures, okay? And what a reigning chief minister, trying to his son trying to tell him that trying to tell people that he's better than the Maharajas of who have the historical fact says otherwise, right? So these are comments which show their audacity. They don't have any respect to the people's verdict. And also, when you compare it to the people who have done more wrong. For example, the Mysore Maharajas were responsible for opening so many women colleges, while in the Hyderabad state, there were no colleges for women. The universities that were open only for men. Okay, like that, it was an oppressive culture.
I'm talking about the state of Karnataka, and you are taking us just because there is a Nizam in Hyderabad there. But Mr. Arun, let me bring you in, sir. Let me bring you in. Krishnaraja Wadiyar is a very respected figure. Historically a very respected figure. By drawing this comparison, especially the son of the chief minister patting his own back and his father's back, how is this being taken as far as the people are concerned, sir?
I think Yatindra has shot himself in his leg, because this, talking about the Maharaja, the king, rudely, or comparing him with some leader of today, I think the people won't like it, especially in the Mysore region, where he is one of the people's representative, Yatindra and Siddaramaiah. So the thing is, he's saying something that is against people's sentiments. And what the Maharaja has done, everybody knows. My previous speakers have said so many things about the Maharaja, about what he had done. He lived for just 56 years, and of them only 30 odd years he was the Maharaja. And during that time, he did so many things for the erstwhile Mysore state, and the fruits of which we are all, eating out of that. And like, for example, I myself studied in the Maharaja's College of Mysore. It was started by the Maharaja. Take the first street light in the entire country. It started in Bangalore by the Maharaja. The first power generation in the country started by him. I mean, it's listless. You don't have to say anything. Mahatma Gandhi called him Rajashri.
Yeah.
So that was the kind of the titles and other things that Maharaja got. And comparing him with a ruler of today, I think is just not done. Okay. Because things were very different then. Things are different now.
Absolutely. Asad Abbas, respond to what Mr. Arun is saying, because that's very, very significant. Politically, Yatindra may have shot himself in the foot, but the fact remains, what gives anybody this kind of, this will be called as arrogance or misunderstood, in fact, stature, that you suddenly would, elevate yourself to a historical figure?
Ankit, there's a beautiful quote. When you do the most common things in life, in the most uncommon way, you command the attention of the world. With the Sandesha Samavesha schemes for Mysuru city, what Siddaramaiah ji has announced is absolutely revolutionary and historical. Be it the bus stand, be it the exhibition, be it the Karnataka Central, the State Industrial Board, so on and so forth. There are more than 10, 20, 30 schemes which are being implemented as we speak. The fact of the matter is, Yatindra, undoubtedly what he has meant to say is, there are no two ways taking away the credit of the erstwhile Maharaja, but the fact is, Siddaramaiah as a politician has done as much as him, if not more, in today's day and age is absolutely applaud-worthy.
Is it not playing in the hands of the BJP? It would in fact have some people, like Mr. Arun is saying, it's something that which will in fact inflame passion. People will, in any case, a chief minister or his son elevating himself to that level or making that comparison, isn't it just giving us sitting duck in the hands of the BJP?
I will answer that. That's a fair question. I will answer that. The question was raised by the previous panelist, it will hurt the sentiments of the people, and there could be protests, or people may not like it. Absolutely not. It is not going to be so, because it is only hurt the sentiments of the Bharatiya Janata Party, their leaders and their supporters,
Okay.
not the people of Karnataka. I am from Karnataka. I am not. My sentiments are not hurt with this comparison. I am happy.
But let's
My
not
Maharaja did a
make
good
this
job,
let's
and
not
the
make
CM
this
is
that
doing
you
a
know
good job.
exactly everybody in Karnataka. Your sentiments may not have been hurt. Mr. Arun or
So neither
Gurumurthi's
BJP.
sentiments could have been hurt. So let's not say that we represent everybody in
Neither
Karnataka.
BJP.
Mr. Gurumurthy, very quickly, 30 seconds to you, sir, because I'm out of time. I have to run a special story after this, and then I'll go to Mr. Arun. Very quickly, is this now a political issue? At the time when there are still talks about the name, sir, hold on, let me complete my question. If both of us will speak over each other, people won't understand what we are trying to say. It is also at a time when there is still possible rumors or murmurs about chief ministers, posts being changed, the chair being changed, a revolving chair in the Congress party. Do you see this also as Siddaramaiah asserting himself as the great work that he has done?
See, his son praising and comparing him to the Maharajas is something people are like laughing at. Okay, and I think it is the end game. This is the end game of Siddaramaiah and his cabinet, and they are going to go home soon. So this is something his son wanted to tell, so that media will carry it for some days about his father, and he has done it. He has done justice to his father, just like his father did justice to him through nepotism. And maybe son and father are happy, but
okay. Unless and until the Congress leadership decides to change the chief minister,
do not
2028 is when people will have a chance to, in fact, show Mr. Siddaramaiah whether he is out or in. Very quickly, last word to you, Mr. Arun, on this. Do you see this as a brewing political controversy and unnecessary controversy at a time when the chief minister is already, as news will suggest, is still fighting to hold on to the chief minister's chair?
Yeah, it is true that CM is fighting to hold on to his chair, but then this controversy, I think, will die down. It may not, continue for next 1 week or something like that. But what I would like to say is that Mr. Yatindra, if he wants to compare his father with somebody, it could be, with somebody like Yadurappa, who was there just about a few years back, and that is the apt comparison, not with a historical figure. That's what I would like to say.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you, sir. There should be comparisons between comparisons between mere mortals, not picking up historical figures to try and show how great you are. People will decide. For every, like Abbas was saying earlier, it is a democracy. People decide how great or not great you are every 5 years, and we should leave it to them. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me at this moment on this debate.